Today we are going to talk about one of the important function in a SQL Server. This is a choose function. Choose function is very useful while working with the conditional statement. If you have a query and there you need to write a conditional statement, then the choose function will be very useful. If you have a requirement like you need to select a specific value based on a specific value, I can say specific index, then you always need to think about the function, and that function would be choose function. Great, let's try to understand its syntax. The syntax is very simple. It requires the first parameter as index value, so based on this index value it will select the value provided. So you can see here syntax, as I mentioned, the first would be the index value, the index position, I can say index value, I can say index position. So the value after this index position would be the value 1, this is value 2, this is value 3, and so on. You can specify multiple values going further. Okay, so choose function index position always start with a 1. So if I pass here 1, I will get the first value. If I'll pass 2, I will get the second value. If I'll pass 3, I will get the third value. Let's say if you have a question, if I pass 0, then what would I get? You would get the null. And if let's say I have defined the choose function with a 6 parameter, 6 value, I can say, and the first one would be the index one and the 6th value, right? So total there are 7 parameter. If I pass 8, what would be the output of my function? So output of your function would be null, because that value is not present in the list provided. So let's try to understand it in more detail. So I am running a query here, select, I am using a function choose. So here I am specifying 1 and I am writing something like Jan. So here I am writing the month name, Jan, Feb, then March. Great. So if I'm going to run this query, what will I get? Let's see what will we get. So when we run this query, we'll see the Jan. Why we are seeing Jan? Because we are specifying the position, and always remember the position for the choose function will always be starting with a 1, not with 0. Right? Let's try with a 0. If I pass here 0, what would my output? If I pass 0 and run this query, I will get null, because 0, there is no value at the 0th position, because the value always be starting with the first position. Now here also we can see 1, 2, 3. Let's pass 4 and see what will happen. When I pass 4 and when I execute this query, I will get null, because the 4th value is not present in a list. So this is a very simple explanation, right? So if you want to convert this choose function in a if clause, if clause, how can we do that? So we can do that. Let's try to compare the code. If I want to do that, I can do that. Let's say I'm defining the parameter called as the, let's say this is the value. So I'm defining as a variable val 1, and it would be the int equal to 1. I can say it as index 1. Now I'm running the query because I want to make it generalized, so I'm making some changes here. When I execute this query, let's see what happens. I will get this. So because we have not defined it correctly, let's define it correctly and run the query. I will get a Jan right here. So So what I'm going to do here, I'm trying to write the same statement with the help of IIF function. So how I can do that? So I need to specify here IIF1, then make Jan. Again here I need to specify the condition. Multiple if statement, that would be the nested if. Here again I need to specify the index value here. If it is 2, then it would be the fab, right? Again I need to use a nested if clause here. Likewise, assume if we'll have the 12 values, then how complicated and how difficult it would be to read it. So just guess which function is useful. March, then right. So when I execute both the query, let's see what happened. I will get output as a 1. If I change it to 2, see what will we get. We get a fab. If I change it to 3, what will we get? We'll get the March. So if you'll observe carefully, the output for both the function we are getting equal, but the way which we have written the query is difficult. If I think about choose, then I will see how easy it is. If I think about IIF, then how difficult it is, right? So I will suggest, if you have a simple requirement just to select the output based on some value, then I always suggest go for a choose function. And if you have some complicated if else logic, then you need to match a lot of business rules there, then we should go for IIF function. So this is a simple example. So how useful it would be? So I'm just giving you a more generalized demo. Let's say I have a table called as the data employee EMP data. Here I have a column called as a name. It would be the name of employee. So I'm specifying is a varchar of 100. Then the date column, date of joining. Yeah, I'm making as a date. Perfect. So this is the table I have. Now let's write a script to insert some data in the table. EMP data, select, pass the first employee Shrikant, whose date of birth is on 02/2000 or let's say any employee whose date of birth in December. Okay, I have a 3 select statement here, and 3 will represent the each employee, right? So let's create the table and execute the script. When I create the table and execute the script, I will see the data has been loaded successfully. So just run the query, select star from employee, and then select the home, and then click on execute. So here you can see there are 3 record I have and 3 date of joining. So the date of joining you can see in 1992. Great. Now my requirement is based on this date, I need to know the month, name of an employee. So how I can do that? So the simplest way would be go for a switch function, go for a choose function. In the choose, here we need to specify the index position. So we'll do month of what? Month of date of joining. So here we will get the output. So here, you know, the month numbers would be 1 to 12. So here we need to specify the 12 values. So how we can do that? Here we will specify Jan, then Feb, March, April, May, then June, then July, then August, September, October, November, December. Great. So I have written a query like this. So what will I get? I will get all the data from EMP data table. Along with that, I will get the month name of joining, date of birth of a employee. So let's run this query. So I can here see this to specify the 2 as a Feb, right? 12, here you can see 12 is a month number, so the month number would be December, month name is December, right? So first is Jan, so likewise you can do that. So my intention of writing this long query is just to show you there is nothing difficult that we cannot do with the choose function. It's very easy, on the fly we can understand the things, right? That's why I have written the query, and I hope you guys understood the choose function. So choose function is very useful when you have the index value, and based on that index value you have to specify the value given, right? So hope you guys understood and enjoyed our video regarding the choose function. If you guys having any query or any doubt regarding the choose function, please comment down of video and message me, so we'll definitely get back to you. And thanks for watching. Have a great day.